Hoy vamos a seguir bordeando la reserva de Masai Mara.
En el capítulo anterior viajamos con nuestro amigo Topo al Masai Mara y nos dimos un homenaje motero y audiovisual como pocas veces. Y ya de vuelta en Nairobi nos despedimos de Topo y cambiamos completamente de escenario.
Bueno, me voy a la playa, hoy es 22 de diciembre, quiero pasar ahí las navidades. Entonces me voy a...
Sésale, lugar más romántico de África.
La cosa es que voy a ir por pista, entonces voy a tardar 2 o 3 días, más bien 3.
Un poco más. Vale. Tendrás la vista del Kilimanjaro.
A veces las cosas no salen como uno quiere. Me dirijo a Chesale, un hotel que está en la playa y en el que quiero pasar las navidades y aprovechar para editar bastante material antiguo y descansar. El camino más recto son casi 600 kilómetros a través de la Mombasa Road, carretera más que conocida por los que seguimos este canal y que supone pues unas 8 horas de tensión y de estrés. La segunda opción que me plantea Topo y que es por supuesto la que voy a hacer consiste en dirigirse hacia el Parque Nacional de Amboseli por una pista, buscar otra que lo bordea hasta encontrarse con el Kilimanjaro y una vez allí seguir paralelo a la frontera con Tanzania hasta llegar a Tsavo National Park, atravesarlo también por pista y encontrarse con los últimos kilómetros de la Mombasa Road. Probablemente van a ser unos 3 días de viaje, pero eso sí, por pista y disfrutando. Pero como decía al principio, la realidad es que hoy es un día de esos que las cosas no funcionan. Total, un día un poco raro. Y entonces al final del día sucede algo que casi nunca me pasa, y es que no encuentro la pista. Estoy buscando un desvío a la derecha que va hacia un camping, pero voy y vengo una y otra vez y lo único que encuentro es maleza. Así que decido no acampar, dar la vuelta y buscar un lugar seguro donde pasar la noche.
Yeah, look, and no hotels there. Oh, very far. I prefer here the tent, but in a safe place. Is it possible? Yeah, it is possible. Where? Just there. Okay, I follow you.
He dormido en casa de una pareja que ayer me ofreció todo lo que tenía a cambio de nada. Es 23 de diciembre y ha estado lloviendo toda la noche. Sintiéndolo mucho, voy a tener que dejar la pista para otra vez, volver a la Mombasa Road y asegurarme llegar a Chesale para pasar allí la Navidad. Y así es como llego a un lugar del que esperaba una mesa para trabajar y algo de compañía navideña y de donde sin embargo me fui mucho tiempo después y con mucho más.
My mother's side of the family,
Yeah,
they came to Kenya in 1912.
1912, yeah.
1912. So I'm third generation Kenyan,
Okay.
and they came here after the wars, and they were given a piece of land also from the English
government.
side.
Because your mom family is English.
He's English, Scottish.
Scottish.
He came from Spain. He was a Spanish,
Your grandfather.
my grandfather, and he came to Kenya, and then like 2 or 3 years later, the family followed to come and look for him because he disappeared.
Wait.
And when they found him here, they found him with another woman.
No.
Yeah, and then he ran away with the other woman and went to Australia. So we have other family in Australia now. This is my house together with Isabel, my fantastic, lovely French girl, who is not here today. I built this house together with Isabel 3 years ago. Everything completely open. I don't believe in having keys. I believe in trusting my local people. Chesale has maybe 10 keys looking after some of the store area and this kind of thing, but generally we live in a very open place.
What about the kitesurf?
The kite surf also is a part of the hotel, 1999, when kiting just started to come to Europe. I was the first kiter in East Africa, and the first professional kite school in East Africa. And when God was making the world, he said, I make this bay like this because one day I'm going to tell someone to invent kiting and I'm going to make the perfect place for it. My father had a small airplane, so he used to fly along the beach, and one day he looked down and could see this beautiful place, Shishale, and he said, one day I'm going to buy that.
And this is 30...
About 37, 38 years old. Ago. And me, I'm a lucky guy, you know. Born here, lived here most of my life.
You live in the paradise.
I live in the paradise.
That is not for free.
No. Nothing is for free in Africa.
Where are we going?
To Malindi.
Malindi to shop.
Yeah, for the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to get everything. Otherwise, if I don't go shopping with Jacob, then everyone will starve. We don't eat.
Let's gonna shop.
Yeah.
And we continue talking.
Yeah. Okay.
So?
Today's shopping, 1,300 euros. This would probably last about 2 days of clients in our place. Wow. Yeah, so it's busy at the moment and hot, as you can see. It's too hot in town. I hate being in town. Town for me is a nightmare. I like outside, chalet, free, wind, kiting, fishing, all these kind of things. But I have to do shopping.
Uno llega a la playa y se encuentra a Justin ahí viviendo en el paraíso y suele decir eso de qué cabrón, ¿no? Y mira todo lo que hay que hacer, ¿no? Para vivir en el paraíso.
This is where the true paradise is, the best paradise.
And eventually my father became tired. My father said, okay, enough, I want to sell. And this is when I said, no. Let me rent it from you. So I start to pay a monthly rent for Shishale. I have the hotel business, the tourism industry. I have also a crab farm.
Okay, this crab is dead, eh? He's not in here, so don't worry.
I have also a fishing boat.
Es 31 de diciembre y nos hemos levantado a las 5 de la mañana. Campeón. Para ir a pescar. La última pescada del año.
My main worry is the political situation in this country. Our governments are always fighting, and this makes tourism suffer a lot. At the moment, it's very hard to keep everything alive. If it was not for my crab farm, it would be very hard for me today to have this place.
many people work here?
It goes up and down.
More or less. This is
More or
the
less
average.
42. And remember the calculation. For every one employee that I have, he is responsible for 6 people. That's a lot of people that I feel responsible for. And again, if tourism is not there or is very hard, these people suffer.
Yeah.
And these people are like my children.
I'm
leaving today?
I'm sad, yeah, I'm leaving. Would you
But
miss
you're
me?
gonna come back, eh?
I have to.
You have to. Okay, so I'm gonna count the days from now until you come back, okay?
Pleasure.
You take it easy, bro.
Thank
Safe
you,
journey,
thank
yeah? Safe journey, man.
Thank you
And
so
it's a pleasure. You're always welcome in my home. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Esta vida nómada tiene muchas ventajas que no hace falta que recordemos ahora. Pero también supongo que algo que va pesando con el tiempo. Y es eso de tenerse que despedir tantas veces de personas a las que aprecias. Thank you very much, Justin. Take it easy, bro.
Mañana salgo de viaje.
Y en el próximo capítulo vuelve una ruta muy motera,
Que por cierto no viajo solo.
en el sentido más femenino de la palabra.
Buenos días, Marta.
Buenos días.
Vamos a Nairobi por pista.
Nos vemos la semana que viene. Gracias por estar ahí.